So if I scroll down here to where it says Job Plan, if I click on the arrow, then click on Go To and Job Plans, that takes me to the Job Plans application. And different than the preventive maintenance record, the job plan does not have to have an organization and a site unless that it's a required field for your organization. So this can be not a required field, and you could have, say, the same job plan for all sites at your organization. And that might be helpful if you've got the same type of asset that you want to maintain in the exact same way globally or over all of your sites. And you could have the job plan created, and that's always the one that's used, and you would just add it to the different PMs at each site. So that's a possibility. If I scroll down here, I see I can put the classification. I can put, for example here, finished constraint offset, and I could put that in increments of 24 hours. And so if I wanted a week, for example, when this generates, so the finish no later than would be a week from when it generates if there's no lead time, then I would put 168:00, and that is 168 hours, 7 days. And so I could increment that by 24 hours up until the amount of days that I would like to have. You could check some boxes here if it requires asset downtime or location downtime to perform this job plan. You could add an inspection form to be added to this work order, and so that would need to be performed along with the task. The task here, you can see I can put an estimated duration. I don't have to have that populated, but I can put it there. I've got my task here. There's the 10, 20, 30, 40. We talked about the importance of the order, and that's how you would do that. Usually you've got 10, 20, 30, 40, but I could put task 11, I could put task 25. So you can add more in. This is just one way to enumerate those. And so doing it by tens allows you to be able to add in the future in between without having to renumber everything. So if I scroll up to the top where it says work assets, I can see here there's an asset and a rotating asset under item here added. And so here is where, if this was a global job plan, I could have assets from all different sites added here and then just add it to the right preventive maintenance record at the specific sites. One last thing I'd like to mention is revisions. So you see here, this is revision 0. It's not been revised, but now that it's active, in order to add a task, I would actually have to go to Revise Job Plan. And when I click on that, it says, okay, this is going to be the first revision, and I need to give a reason of why I'm revising it. And so then once it's revised, and it will be pending revision, and once it's approved, I change it to active, the first one that was revision 0, you could say, will still be there as history in the system. So I can see what it was and now what's been added, and if that's been filled out, the why there when you create the revision. And so that gives you that traceability and just extra protection there. If you've got kind of a standardized job plan, why was it changed, what was changed, and you could always reference back so you don't lose that or those tasks. Now, then you could, if you needed to add something back, revise again and copy and paste from the original if you needed to add something back. So that's overview of preventive maintenance and job plans, and whether you are creating those or just setting them up in the system or you're performing them, that's how they contribute to the work order that gets created, and hopefully gives you some ideas about how you perhaps can set them up or improve them at your organization when that work order generates for the person performing the work.